This is a great trade for Orlando. Now, everyone on social media is saying, how many first-round picks did they give up? And maybe 4 is a little too much. They also gave up a swap, so technically it's like 4.5. But I also just think in the NBA community, picks get overvalued. For example, this is a great post. Nate Jones stated, people see picks and don't pull in context. The only likely lottery pick in here is Phoenix in 2026, which depending on what Phoenix does could be a very good pick. Orlando thinks they will be good for the next 5 years, so rest of those picks won't be lottery picks. You also got to look at what they gave up. KCP, who's on a terrible contract now considering he looked washed last year. Like, this isn't the Denver Nuggets KCP that they're trading away. This is a washed version. And then you got Cole Anthony, who's a fine player, but he has limitations because he's super small and basically all he provides is scoring. So to me, they gave up 2 overpaid players. So of course this deal is going to be centered around draft picks. And I guarantee you it was either that or you're giving up Jalen Suggs, you're giving up Anthony Black and some of the young core. And with the way OKC is winning, Jalen Suggs is low-key one of the most valuable players in the league right now if he can stay healthy because he's one of the most annoying defenders, picks up full court, just a hustle guy. I feel like people forget, but if the Magic were relatively healthy this year, they would have been a top 5 seed in the Eastern Conference, maybe even a top 3 seed if they got extremely good health. And initially when Paulo went down this year, they were actually staying afloat. Jalen Suggs was playing out of his mind. Franz Wagner, of course. Mo Wagner as well. But once Mo and Franz went down and then Suggs went down, like they just got hit with a bunch of injuries. But they were looking pretty solid even without Paulo. So the core of Suggs, Bane, Paulo, and Franz, I mean, you're right up there with the top of the Eastern Conference. And once again, they're going to be one of the best defenses in the league. They were second only behind OKC, but now you have added another scorer. Bane averaged 19.2 points per game, 5.3 assists as well. I feel like that's one of the most underrated stats about him. And of course, the biggest thing he will bring to the table, spread the floor for Paulo, spread the floor for Wagner. 39% from 3 on 6 attempts last year. Over his whole entire career, he's been a high-volume three-point shooter. 41% from 3 on 6 attempts over his 5-year career. Per synergy, Desmond Bane made 51% of his open catch and shoot jumpers this season. The Magic finished 30th in the NBA, making 35% of those attempts. He's also a guy who has shown he can produce in the playoffs. 12 games in 2021 for Memphis, 18.8 points in the playoffs, and he shot 48% from 3 during that run. So he has that playoff experience, and that can really help a young group in Orlando take the next step. Overall, I'm just happy they finally added an offensive piece. I was getting sick of them just, having no offense on their team, and shooting is just so badly needed. 31.8% as a team throughout the whole entire season. 30th ranked in the NBA. And then they made the playoffs. And guess what? They were last in three-point percentage in the playoffs, 14.2% from 3. And if you watch that series versus Boston, yeah, they lost 4-1. But a lot of those games were competitive. Pretty impressive considering they had no outside shooting whatsoever. And I think people are unfairly just labeling him as a shooter. But the thing is, this dude is a scorer from anywhere on the basketball court. Just look at his shot chart. Also, notice 50.5% of his shots last year were unassisted. You're getting an all-around score. He's efficient from deep, but he's also shooting 49.1% from the mid-range, 1.7 field goals attempted there per game. Also in the restricted area, 67.7% from the field, 3.7 attempts per game. So you're getting a legit 3-level scorer who's pretty efficient at every single spot on the basketball court. He's a shooter in every aspect as well. Off the dribble, he can hit you with a step back, get a screen, pull up off the dribble. And then, of course, off ball, he can run off screens, catch and shoot. He's a movement shooter. I mean, he's just a dynamic offensive player that doesn't get respect because he's not that flashy. And he's also been on a team where Ja Morant is catching all the headlines. This move also tells us that they really believe in the development of Paolo Banchero, because it looks like he's going to be the point forward of that offense. So him developing as a playmaker is going to be huge for the ceiling of this team. I really hope they explore the dribble handoff game between Desmond Bane and Paulo Banchero. With the players that Banchero has had around him throughout his NBA career, he hasn't had a guy that he can screen for, and the defense actually be more worried about the ball handler than him rolling. But with Bane, it's a different story. Off a screen, Desmond Bane is very, very lethal. It's Klay Thompson-esque. So I really hope moving forward, Paulo enjoys screening for Bane and really accepts the dirty work, because that two-man game can be very lethal. And not only for Paulo screening for Bane, but Bane is a big, hefty dude. He can screen for Paulo in clutch time and situations where they need a score. You can also put Bane one pass away, because we know Paulo is going to be attracting all the attention, attracting double teams and things of that nature, and he's actually going to be a floor spacer where if you double Paulo one pass away with Bane, he's going to knock it down most likely. I personally view this as a win for Orlando. Let me know your thoughts below in the comments section. Leave a like and subscribe as well.